At the beginning of March 2022, news reports confirmed that the Russian army had captured the Ukrainian port city and region of Kherson, where an ancient space ark is claimed to be buried. According to two independent sources who contacted Dr Michael Salla, the space ark is allegedly buried under Oleshky Sands National Nature Park, which is only 25 kilometers, around 15 miles, east of Kherson. This space ark is said to be activating and predicted to eventually begin flying into the air very soon.
Section 51.
Hi everyone, what's up guys, DOZgeek here with Section 51. Big thanks again for your support to the channel and welcome to the new subscribers. As always, first, please hit that like button and share this new video right now to keep supporting Section 51. And don't forget, of course, to watch this video until the end. It was only a matter of time until something paranormal was reported in connection with Russia's invasion of Ukraine. And the initial episode will be difficult to surpass, real or not. Around the time Russian soldiers entered the Ukrainian city of Kherson, a few websites started to report that an ancient space ark buried near Kherson had been triggered and would soon take flight. Are we really talking about an alien mothership? An ancient space ark ready to take off from the Earth? Kherson is strategically important to the Russian military as it contains a freshwater canal to the nearby Crimean Peninsula, which is the only warm water port of the Russian Navy. Russia's capture of Kherson is vital for ensuring the long-term viability of its Crimean facilities, but also fulfills a new strategic imperative to gain access to and control the alleged space ark. In February 2022, Michael Salla received an intriguing voice message from a long-time source serving in the US Army.
Remember I was telling you about the Ark? There was Russians surrounding the ship that we were on, in the Atlantic Ocean. They really wanted information. That's why they went down to the Atlantic Ark with us. We gave them the opportunity to come down. We didn't have no problem, bringing the Russians in and sharing information. Because we know that this was huge, worldwide, huge, this is humongous. So all the world leaders need to know about this. But they did not keep their side of the promise right now, taking us to their ark. But now with this happening in Ukraine, that ark that is over there, I guess they want that information for them. We were about to go to that ark. Do not be shocked if it begins activation in Oleshky Desert National Park and is one of the first ships to take flight. Everybody is aware, now that the world's nations have focused their attention on Ukraine. This is likely to be one of the first to go up, and everyone will see it. Everything will come to a grinding halt. Everybody is going to be taken aback as a result of this.
These words originate from an anonymous source called GP, allegedly serving in the US Army and claiming to have conducted secret operations on two other space arks.
One expedition was to the moon, and two others were to the Atlantic Ocean's Bermuda Triangle. All three operations were done in collaboration between the US and China, while the second Atlantic Ocean mission involved Russia, which had discovered its own ark on its territory but refused to grant access to the US.
These claims were reportedly supplied to Dr Michael Salla, founder of the Exopolitics Institute and the DOZgeek website for news on significant individuals, political institutions, and processes related to extraterrestrial life. Salla believes the space ark is buried beneath Ukraine's Oleshky Sands National Nature Park, about 25 kilometers east of Kherson. The park is unique in that it is a semi-arid, desert-like environment covered in low fertility soil and sand. While the park is open to tourists, it is extremely protected due to its proximity to a military training site, and perhaps as a result of the sunken space ark. But scans for additional information on space arks have turned up nothing. Therefore, we must rely on Salla's discoveries that there are ancient spaceships discovered buried, 2 by the United States and China, 1 by Ukraine, and 1 by Russia. According to his source, GP, experts triggered and flew these space arks, with one making its way to the moon. Salla asserts that he corroborated GP's story with the story of Tor-An. According to Salla, Tor-An Heredion is a Galactic Federation pilot who communicates telepathically with Helena Danahan, a former French archaeologist and Salla's buddy. Danahan reported in January that massive space arks have also been discovered on the Moon, Mars, and in Antarctica. However, the Ukraine's ark is allegedly currently located in Oleshky Park at the following coordinates, and Salla reports that Tor-An relayed to her why we should be concerned.
This is not an invasion of Ukraine, but a necessary component of the cleansing operations. The deep state was attempting to activate the ark, which they discovered buried beneath the sand in Ukraine's lower southern region many years ago. The ark had been activated, and it was past time for Putin to seize it. A second ark exists in northern Russia, but Putin already controls it. Putin has been taught how to exploit this technology by positive extraterrestrials.
Salla strongly believes, based on what GP, Danahan and Tor-An said, that the invasion of Ukraine is being carried out in order for Russia to acquire this ancient space ark. This could be the reason why Kherson was the first city to be conquered. While some claimed that the Ukrainian army was preparing a lightning military campaign to retake the contested Donetsk and Lugansk administrative regions of Ukraine, others claim that US-sponsored biolabs were the real target of the Russian attack. While these are plausible scenarios, neither one adequately explains why Russia conducted a full-scale military intervention from 3 directions after 8 years of sitting on the sidelines. According to Michael Salla, the discovery of a buried space ark and Russia's desire to take full control of it offers maybe a more compelling explanation for Russia moving in and taking over Ukrainian territory far from the contested Donetsk and Lugansk regions. What is certain is that this region is the subject of intense tensions between Ukraine and Russia for many years now and for many reasons: ethnic, strategic, and economic. The sudden attack by Russia did not come from nowhere. On the contrary, it seems to come as a result of repeated provocations by Ukrainian forces and NATO in the Donbas region for years. The situation on the ground is not so simple that the mainstream media and Western governments would like us to believe. This type of armed conflict has been going on for so long that it's really hard to say who fired the first shot. But it is always the people who are the first victims. The risk here is that the conflict will spread more widely and then becomes the Third World War, as President Zelensky would like, by involving the Europeans to help him against Russia. It is very clear now that our leaders are strongly seeking to lead their peoples against their will in a new world conflict that could serve the interests of large private organizations and eventually install a new world order, where the majority of the population would be reduced to some kind of modern slavery for the sake of the elites. Most people would be reduced to working with masks, to being vaccinated against an invisible threat if they want to keep a minimum of rights and freedoms, such as being able to move or have access to food rations. War and pandemics are finally great tools for easily controlling and restricting people. In these conditions, perhaps the public appearance of a new power on the world stage, with the revelation in the open of extraterrestrial visitors, could help us limit the power of our elites who seem so eager to rush us into chaos. Maybe finally that the appearance in broad daylight of this space ark, this mothership, if it really exists, would be good news for humanity. Maybe these visitors could help us to protect from ourselves by neutralizing the evil forces working now to lead us in a fatal Third World War. What do you think? Do you believe in the existence of this ancient space ark buried in Ukraine? Is Dr. Michael Salla's source really reliable? Will this ship really take off soon? Can we see it from space? Are there any other testimonies or other proofs that could confirm the theory of the space ark? Personally, I must say that living in Europe, myself, in France, I am almost more afraid of a large-scale war than of the appearance of an alien ship. I hope you enjoyed this new video. Please leave me your comments just below. You can find us on social networks, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. As usual, don't forget to hit that like button and that bell button too. Don't forget to share the video and to subscribe to Section 51. Thank you. This was DOZgeek with Section 51. I'll be back really soon. Open your eyes, watch the sky, live long and prosper.